It's your big bald-headed sister, Action Jacqueline. Good afternoon and welcome to the show. Um, I have some wigs that I need to alter, and I have the bald girl news that I need to filter through. So I figured we could do that together. Typically I would do like my you know what? Let me just start over. Let me just start over. I'm going to start over fresh. Stop. Greetings, everyone. It's your big bald-headed sister, Action Jacqueline. Welcome to the Bald Girls Gossip Room. How's everybody doing out there? Thanks for joining. Thank you for joining, everyone. I am filming live as usual. In case you don't know, I have been using live streaming as my method of pre-recording. So what I'll do is I'll take this live stream, and if there's any interesting topics that we discuss during this live stream, I will edit it and regurgitate it back to you guys as a reel or a short or a long form video, probably. I'm not real sure. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining. Again, I'm your big bald-headed sister, Action Jacqueline, and I thank you for joining me today. So we're going to do bald girl news today, and we're also going to make some revisions to a wig. Am I saying that right? I need to alter this wig. I have some wigs that need some work. So I have my needle, I have my thread, I have everything together. We're going to work on that for a little while. I have dinner to cook, but I still want to do the bald girl news. I haven't done that yet. And that's usually fun. I found some interesting topics that we could talk about. Ice Spice is in the news about some scandal that she's in regarding some wig purchases she's made. Also, we're going to look at Moriah Plath. She is the reality star that I've talked about quite often lately because she's probably the most publicly bald alopecia person that we can identify with on TV because she's a reality star and she has alopecia that she developed not too long ago. So we're going to talk about her a little bit because there's an article about her in the paper. Lucas Monteiro says you have VC. What is VC? Lucas, thank you so much for asking. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and check that out. And in the meantime, we're gonna work on this wig. I don't know if you guys remember this wig, if you guys watch me at all. This is the wig that I pieced together, right? It's an old wig, human hair wig by John Renault that I bought probably like 5 or 6 years ago. And I wore it maybe 2 or 3 months straight before it started to thin out in the cap. So I had to, just put it in the drawer and leave it alone. I usually, if I have a good quality human hair wig, I won't throw it away. I will use it for parts. This one I didn't want to cut apart though because, well, I didn't have hair that was as good quality and I didn't exactly know what to do with it. But recently I took apart my Zara wig and I cut out the monofilament parting and I sewed it into this wig. So I no longer had that bald spot. I'm really, really proud of this creation. And I'm telling you guys about it because you guys know how hard it is to come across a really good wig, right? So if you come across a really good wig, you want to kind of preserve it as long as possible. And unfortunately, as wigs go, they do get old and they often need replacing. But who has $3,000 to spend on a brand new wig, right? Because that's what they asked for these blonde human hair wigs. Lucas is asking more questions. I write songs. Do you have cancer? No, I do not have cancer, Lucas Monteiro, but thank you so much. And you wrote a song. That's really wonderful. Justin Cass. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's really wonderful. So yeah, this is the wig now, but there's something I noticed when I took it off the other day. I noticed that there was a track kind of hanging out. So I need to fix that. Where did it go? Oh, this is it right here. So I'm going to sew that back in. Actually, that's not it. Oh, this is it. This is that piece that's hanging out. So I'm just going to sew that back in. And I have another wig that I clipped extensions into. This is another wig. I'll show you this one. I clipped human hair blonde extensions into this wig. And I want to add some more clips to it. So I bought some new clips off Amazon. Ooh, not fall. I bought some more clips off of Amazon, and I'm going to add some more clips to them. So I'm just going to sew those in, and then I'm going to start dinner. Thank you guys. All right, so you guys with me? You guys ready to hear about Ice Spice? Stay with me so that we can talk all about Ice Spice. Here she is. Ice Spice has been behaving badly. Behaving badly. Imagine being able to walk into a wig salon and order over 2 dozen custom wigs in one sitting. That's what your girl Ice Spice was allowed to do. She was allowed to order over 2 dozen wigs without putting money down. Could you imagine? Oh my God, how good is life? That is amazing. All right, so let me show you guys real quick these clips that I told you I added to this wig, because I need to take them out real quick before I start talking about Ice Spice. These are the clips. You can see them here. The clip-in extensions. And this is a brand called Bellamy, B-E. Actually, I hope I'm not lying to you. Wait, hang on. Yeah, it's called Bellamy hair. Really good hair. So this is a synthetic hair wig, by the way, y'all. It's a synthetic hair wig. But what you do when you get a synthetic hair wig and it starts to misbehave, you know, like tangle up and not lay properly, is if you can get some really good human hair wefts, you can either clip them in or sew them in. And that makes the hair actually behave like human hair. Honestly, there's really nothing better than a good quality human hair piece. But if there are some challenges preventing you from getting your hands on one, the second best option is to add some human hair pieces to your synthetic hair wigs, because it really, really makes a difference in the way the wig behaves and looks overall. So just straighten it out. But yeah, these are the clips. I just noticed that they don't have enough clips on them. So actually, this might be enough. One of the pieces in here has a really large, you know what, hang on a second. There's a really large piece in here that I know needs another clip. Oh, this is it. This is the one. So I have 3. Wait, 1, 2. Look at that quality of hair. Really good. This seemed like enough clips here. I don't know why I thought I needed to add more clips, but it felt like I did at one point. Anyway, in the meantime, while we try to figure that out, I'll just work on the other wig, because that definitely needs work. And you know what? Let's go ahead and start talking about Ice Spice and her shenanigans in the meantime. All right. You guys ready to hear about Ice Spice? Let's do it. Here she is. And this is printed in TMZ News. The date of this was April 10th. Okay, so this was just printed yesterday. And this is called Ice Spice, Don't Wig Out. You're going to be deposed. All right. She's about to be sued for this misbehavior that she took part in. Okay. Ice Spice totally wigged out when she refused to ante up $20,000 for more than 2 dozen custom wigs. 2 dozen custom wigs she ordered from a company, at least according to a lawsuit from the wig company. And now the rapper is now facing a deposition in the case. Hang on, y'all, my nose is running. Oh, by the way, Lucas, you asked me if I have cancer. I told you I don't have cancer. What I actually do have is alopecia universalis, which is basically hair loss that happens all across the body. So I don't have any hair anywhere on my body. All right, so let me get back into this. All right, so Ice Spice is now facing a deposition in the case. According to new court docs obtained by TMZ, Spice is set to be deposed as a defendant in a lawsuit brought by the Bella brand, which is owned by Gabrielle Alexis. The legal drama started in 2025 when Spice was first slapped with a suit for allegedly reneging on a discounted $20,000 deal for the 25 custom-made wigs. Wow. Imagine being able to go in the store and order 25 custom-made wigs with no money down. The doc says Spice signed a contract for Alexis to create the one-of-a-kind wigs, but the Bella brand claims Spice didn't make good on her promise to pay or take delivery of the wigs. And then went on to tarnish the reputation of Alexis and her wigs on social media when things went awry between them. What's more, the lawsuit claims the lies spread by Spice and her team caused major reputational damage to Alexis that cost her thousands of dollars after she temporarily lost a repeat celebrity customer. The Bella brand is suing Spice for breach of contract and seeking more than $400,000 in compensatory and punitive damages. The company's attorney, Justin Mungai of Chaudhry Law, tells us the deposition is scheduled for late April, but the date may change due to scheduling conflicts. In a statement, Mungai tells TMZ, "This is what entitlement looks like. Fame is not immunity from the law. Ice Spice will be held accountable. We've reached out to Spice's lawyers and representatives for comment. So far, no word back." That is cold. Imagine that. First of all, imagine, like I said, imagine walking into a boutique and asking for 25 wigs. That is an insane number of wigs to buy all at one time. Why would she need that? And I'm sure that's the reason why she reneged. I feel like it would probably difficult for the wig maker to challenge this celebrity on her request, because who doesn't want $20,000? But at the same time, asking for 25 wigs seems like a recipe for disaster. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comments, because if I was the wig maker, wow, I don't think I would create 25 wigs for anyone at one time. I would say, hey, listen, Spice, I'm going to make you 5 of the best wigs. I'm going to give them to you as soon as possible. And then from there, we'll decide what styles you would like to see, what styles look best, that sort of thing. Because I just feel like, for sure, if you make 25 wigs for somebody, they're not going to want all of them. And in this situation, Ice Spice didn't want any of them. So, dang. But she did promise to pay, and she did renege. So let's see how that works out in the future. But yeah, let me know in the comments how you feel about that. What you would do if you were the wig maker and somebody asked you to make 25 wigs. I wonder what the time constraint was on that. Like, when did she want the wigs by? Like next week? I just can't even imagine 25 wigs at one time. All right, so let's move on to the next topic. All right, the next topic is Moriah Plath. Moriah Plath decided to finally shave her head. You guys, if you have alopecia like me, you know that usually the hair doesn't all just drop out your head at one time. If it did, I feel like our experiences would probably be much easier if our hair did just all fall out at one time. But it's this patchy hair loss that grows and comes back that confuses us and gives us this hope that the rest of the hair would grow back. I don't know, but trying to make a decision about your hair when it's actively growing, even if it's just in spots, is really, really difficult and makes things so confusing for the person who's losing their hair. But Moriah finally decided to shave her head, and we're going to read all about it. All right, guys? Actually, in this one. Oh, we watched her actually go inside this beauty supply store the other day. All right, let's go ahead and read the article. And this is Moriah Plath, a reality star. You guys, I don't watch the show. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't watch the show, but I have been keeping up with Mariah in particular because she has alopecia. And I don't not watch the show because I'm not interested in it. I'm truly interested in it, but I have some ADHD that prevents me from watching TV for more than 20 or 30 minutes at a time. So that's my disclaimer. All right. All right. Moriah Plath is opening up about her struggle with alopecia. In People's exclusive look at the upcoming episode of Welcome to Plathville, the 23-year-old admitted that dealing with the condition has taken a toll on her over the years. When I was little, it all fell out, she shared. As I grew up, now and then I'd get little spots, but it was always something I could hide. But I was still carrying some wounds from that. I was really insecure about it, and around Lydia's wedding, I guess Lydia is her sister, I just started really falling out like this, she said, snapping her fingers. I think they mean it just started falling out. She said, snapping her fingers. Within a few weeks, it was all gone. Yeah, this kind of hair loss is very aggressive, alopecia universalis. It doesn't take long for all of it to drop out of your head. I was really insecure about it, and around Lydia's wedding, I just started really falling out. According to the National Institute of Health, alopecia occurs when the immune system attacks hair follicles and causes hair loss. It usually affects the head and face, with the most common type being patchy alopecia areata, where a person develops coin-sized bald spots on the scalp or elsewhere. But more severe cases can cause hair loss all over the body. The cause of the condition is unknown, and it affects as many as 6.7 million people in the U.S. alone. The National Alopecia Areata Foundation reports. The clip shows Mariah shopping for wigs. Hang on. Do we move on? Let's see what it says. The clip shows Mariah shopping for wigs before reflecting on her decision to shave her head. I was just wearing whatever I could find to cover my head. And I told my mom, I was like, I'm going to have to shave my head. And she was like, oh, who do you want to do that? Mariah said she really wanted her brother Ethan Plath to shave her head, and he was happy to support her. I told him what was going on, and he was like, of course. He shaved my head, and I was just sitting there bawling my eyes out, she recalled. It was really, really hard at first for a while, but just having Ethan do that, it was just really very healing, very sweet, she said. It was what I needed in that moment. Welcome to Plathville airs Tuesdays at 10 p.m. on TLC. Okay, so that's where you guys can watch it if you want to watch the show. And I really do want to watch the show. I don't know why I haven't yet. But yeah, I'm like falling in love with Mariah just based on the stories that I've been reading about her because, well, you know, we're alopecia sisters, right? We're going through, she's going through a struggle I'm very familiar with. And I really appreciate her being very candid about it, not shying away from talking about it, because she could, if she wanted to. She could really just make it a big secret, and I think it's better that we all talk about it in real time. You guys let me know what you think about that, and if you watch Mariah and her siblings on her show, The Plaths, Welcome to Plathville, which is on TLC. All right, and then the last story, which is one about a man that I haven't gone through yet. I haven't gone through the story yet. I figured I'd do it with you guys while I worked on my hair. But of course, I can't work on my hair and read to you guys at the same time. So we're just going to get through it real quick. And hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Okay, so this gentleman here, let me get this off the screen. How do you get it off the screen? If you can. Can I? Hold on. Is there no way? Oh my God, I can't get it off the screen. All right, so we're going to work around it. This gentleman, he thought spending thousands on a toupee at 25 would make him a new man. The effect was a bit more complicated. Oh, this is Ben Sherry we're looking at. Ben Sherry, who went viral for his hair system, tells people about the process and why it was so much more transformational than he could have expected. I wish I could get this thing off the screen. Can't. Ben Sherry was a sophomore in college when he first noticed that his hair was thinning. It started with friends who hadn't seen him in a few years. When they'd reunite, their first reaction would be, oh my God, your hair. Sherry started to look at photos of himself and did not recognize the person he was looking at. Fixated on the hairline that appeared differently than how he imagined, And after a while, and lots of fighting to accept it, he tells people he acknowledged that he was balding. Like many of the millions of men who experience male pattern baldness, the genetic condition that causes natural hair loss, he was desperate for fixes. Sherry turned to minoxidil, one of the few FDA approved treatments for hair regrowth. Even months after he started applying the topical foam twice daily as recommended, he still wasn't seeing much of a change, though the nonstop scrutiny of his scalp certainly didn't help his mental health. Looking at myself in the mirror, so hyperfixated on it, it was not good, he admits. I did not have a very good view of who I was. He eventually switched to finasteride, an oral prescription, but he started to worry about some of the potential side effects. Per Mayo Clinic, the drug may increase the risk of developing high-grade prostate cancer, cause erectile dysfunction, and lower your sex drive. He started to wonder if it was worth potentially opening himself up to health risks in his 50s and 60s by trying to preserve his hair in his 20s. Do you guys remember when I reported on finasteride and that gentleman who developed that weird bend in his penis after using it? Oh my God. That drug is a nightmare, guys. Oh God, you got to be so careful about what you choose to take in your fight against this hair loss. Sometimes it's just not worth it, to be honest. Sometimes it is, though. There are good stories. Like right now, I think Jada Pinkett Smith is experiencing a lot of regrowth. Finally, and she's actually shown some pictures of that, and I'm real happy for her. I know the world is dead set against Jada Pinkett Smith. We're not loving her these days, but nonetheless, she's an alopecia sister, and I'm happy to see that she's getting some regrowth. I don't feel like my hair will ever grow back, and it's because of my form of alopecia, but she didn't have the same form as I did. All right, so let's talk back about Sherry. Sherry tried non-medical options too. He ordered hair fibers, but determined he sweated too much for it to be worth leaving the house with them. He used a derma roller, a tool that microneedles your scalp in an attempt to promote hair growth, but it was too painful. Let me read that again. He tried non-medical options like hair fibers, but he sweat too much for that to work. And then he used a derma roller, which I never really heard of, a tool that microneedles your scalp in an attempt to promote hair growth. He said it was very painful. When you're stabbing yourself in the head multiple times and it hurts and it's making your eyes water, you're like, is this really worth it? He decided it wasn't. Near the end of his college years, Sherry came across the social media page of Emily Alexis Ann Chaney, commonly known on Instagram and TikTok as the Toupee Queen. In her San Diego studio, Chaney shows off the process of hair system installations and the dramatic transformation a toupee can have. Sherry was obsessed, but as a college student, he knew he couldn't afford a hair system, and he put the idea on the back burner. According to Chaney's website, the initial installation cost over $1,000, and subsequent hair systems cost hundreds more. Fast forward a few years to the start of 2025, however, and Sherry found himself living in San Diego, only a 15-minute drive from Chaney's salon. He was earning what he calls big boy money, working as an admissions counselor for his alma mater, and he decided to pull the trigger. Sherry confided in just one friend before scheduling the appointment. Maybe it felt vain, or maybe it just felt weird, or had some sort of stigma, he says. So I just booked it, and it was a little bit impulsive. I will say that. Still, he says he was very excited for the appointment. To himself, he counted down the days until he became what he expected would be a new man. No, my nose is still running. Hold on a second. He likens the initial appointment to a therapy session. He had sent Chaney a few photos of his hair ahead of time, and together they chose the color and style he wanted for his new hair system. Then it was time to shave the top of his head, a necessary step before gluing on the toupee. There he is. That's Ben Sherry, y'all. That can be quite jarring for a lot of people, he admits. You're almost embracing the thing that you're most scared of. Sherry can still remember the feeling of taking off the cape, getting out of the salon chair and really getting a good look at himself in the mirror with his hair system installed. It's cheesy, he acknowledges, but for the first time, he says, I was able to see everything that I had worked towards and that I was proud of below the hairline. Oh, he said he was proud of what he looked like. He noticed his outfit, which he thought was pretty cool. He was able to appreciate the work he had been putting in at the gym his college years, and in the next few weeks, he even found himself being a better friend to the people in his life, now that the mental energy he had once dedicated to his hairline was freed up. Over the next few weeks, he noticed that he would get positive reactions from others in his life as well, even when they couldn't quite figure out what he had done to change how he looked. It was certainly difficult to realize that their perception of his appearance hinged so much on his hair. Typically, the response was, Ben, you're looking so good, he says. It's tough to parse out the validation. Sherry also went viral on TikTok for his hair system. One of his posts has a whopping 3.7 million likes. Oh my God, there he is. It does look good. It does look good, this hair system of his, right? It's actually, it is jarring to see the difference that a good wig can make for one's appearance. I'm not saying that we don't look just fine without the wig, but a wig definitely changes one's appearance. And sometimes it's like, whoa, I didn't even know that was you. And like if I knew him in real life, in real time, I don't think I would recognize him, to be honest. I don't think. What do you guys think? All right, let me finish reading. Almost a year later, Sherry says that the biggest thing his toupee has brought him is confidence. Not necessarily confidence in his appearance with a stronger hairline, but rather confidence that he feels great in his skin, with or without the hair system. That's interesting. So his hair system, he says, helped him feel better about himself overall. That's interesting. That's really interesting. We need to talk about that, right, guys? When asked how long he plans to wear the system, Sherry shrugs off the question. Maybe it'll be another year. Maybe it'll be decades. At the time, I wasn't ready to shave my head or be bald, he says, of himself before getting the toupee. That's different now. There's some days I wake up and I'm like, I'm feeling like a bald head today. It almost destigmatized the idea that you have the power to control how you feel through a really simple decision. Sure, dropping thousands of dollars on a hair system isn't necessarily a simple decision, he says, but the things you do every day make up who you are. I think if you just choose to look at yourself in a positive manner, then that's all that matters. There was a lot of interesting things in this article. What do you guys think? I'll go back into it. I'm going to go through that again. I find it really interesting when he said that wearing the toupee actually made himself feel better about himself overall. And I wonder if that's because he realized he had the option to be whatever he wanted to be or look however he wanted to look. Because the thing about hair loss is it happens to you whether you want it or not, and when you're not ready. Nobody's ever ready to lose their hair. You know what I mean? So having to make a decision about your hair and feeling like you only have one option, I guess that sucks. But then, I don't know. Maybe you guys can explain to me how he felt there. Because I really don't get that. I don't think wearing a wig helped me feel better about myself without my wig. But that's what he claims. And I'm not taking his experience away from him. If that's what he feels, that's what he feels. And I like to feel what he feels. I mean, I feel good about myself as a bald woman, but not because of the wig. I feel good because I spent more and more time without my wig, and I got to know how to present best without my wig, what makeup to wear, what clothes accentuate my bald head, and I had to learn my best color, my color seasons, those kinds of things. Learn how to wear jewelry that accentuates my bald head instead of looking like, when I take my wig off, I just look like some drag queen with a face full of makeup and that just, I don't know. I never liked being able to take my wig off and not be proud of what I look like. I remember that. So I worked really hard to reach the point where I was happy with what I look like after the wig, which means that I have to ultimately feel great about myself before I put the wig on each morning. You know what I'm saying? Even though I wear the wig every day, I still have to feel great bald before I put the wig on. Otherwise, I just will feel horrible the whole day long. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's complicated. Being a bald girl is complicated. Anyway, we're now going to work on this wig right here. This is the one I showed you guys at first, right? So let me tell y'all, I ordered a new wig online today. Typically, I would do a monthly wig budget video for you guys where I basically just get here and talk about what wigs I bought that month, because there was a long time, in which I was buying 4 wigs per month, 4 budget-friendly wigs per month. And by budget-friendly wigs, I'm talking about the wigs that you buy at beauty supply stores, by Sensational and Outre and Motown Tress, those brands. Those are budget-friendly wigs, the synthetic ones, right? I don't spend more than $40 or $50 on them. Usually I don't spend more than $40 or $45. This is why I'm able to maintain a $200 to $230 per month budget. But recently, I realized I haven't been wigging the way that I used to. I started working on some of the old human hair wigs that needed work, and I was able to bring them back to life. And those human hair wigs do last longer, even though they require some work. And being able to make like a blended synthetic / human hair wig, somehow those wigs really, really do well. So today I ordered a human hair wig online. And y'all know I have this big thing about buying wigs online. Like I've been burnt by companies left and right. I bought this one from eBay. And I'll show it to you and show you what I bought, because it's not a typical wig. It's not like from any brand that you've probably ever heard of. It's an old brand, and I believe it's a very, very old wig. So I'm probably doing a really bad job explaining it. Hi, somebody with, I believe those are, I don't know what characters those are, says hi to me, but hello to you. Tell me please what country you're from. I would love to know which characters those are. Let me show you guys this wig that I just bought. So I can't wait to see that. This is not the first time I've bought experimental, I call them experimental wigs. Not the first time I bought experimental wigs online through eBay. I just find this a really good way to get my hands on really high quality human hair that lasts really long. Because as y'all know, I love blonde wigs, but good quality human hair in blonde shades is so hard to come by. So, and I don't want to spend $3,000 on a wig. I just don't. Those days are done. Oh, that is Japanese. I thought it was Japanese, but I didn't want to say it. I don't want to say it and be wrong. Thank you so much for letting me know. What's your name? You guys. Okay, let me show you what I bought. This is what I bought. All right. And okay, so the wig here that I'm working on currently, right? I told you that this is a wig I pieced together, right? What did I do with it? Did I drop it on the floor? Oh, being bald is so weird. Hang on, y'all. Oh, here it is. So this wig, right, originally, you see how much work I've done to it? I sewed in some wefts here. Because it started to thin, I sewed in some wefts here. You can see all the places. It basically looks like Frankenstein on the inside, but on the outside, it looks really good. And then, like I said, I cut out the monofilament part from my old Zero wig, which is a synthetic wig, and I sewed that. I replaced the monofilament part from the original Blake wig, and I added it here. So this is what it looks like on the inside, but I just have to work on fixing some parts that are starting to fall apart. So I'm going to sew that in a minute. But what I was saying about it is that this wig, y'all, when it was brand new, I paid I paid $1,600 for it. Um, and that $1,600 lasted me about 4 months of daily wear. So I don't know, what is that? $400 a month? That's a lot of money, is it? I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys? What's you guys' budget? I'm not sure. For for me, um, $400 per month is a little steep. It's not what I want to spend because that means that I'm taking money out of different areas of my life where I don't want to take money from. Um, but nonetheless, this wig cost $2,300. I don't want to spend that much money again. But I do want high quality human hair, right? So the reason why I chose John Renault is because I love this brand. I don't work for the brand. I don't get sponsorship from the brand at all. So I'm not trying to sell it to you guys, but as a wig sister, I do feel like it's my obligation as your big bald headed sister to let you know where you can get the best quality wigs according to my experience, right? So I will say John Renault makes some really good human hair pieces. They also make really good synthetic pieces, which is why I keep frequenting that brand. But I don't want to spend that money again. I don't want to spend $2,300 for a wig that's going to last me 4 months. I don't remember. What did I say? I spent $1,600 on it because what they do, what these high end brands do is they offer like this 30% off sale. So I think the regular price is $2,300 for the Blake wig, which is what this is. It's the Blake wig by John Renault. But you can get it for 30% off sometimes. And I think I purchased it during a 30% off sale. And that's why I think I spent about $1,600 on it. Again, this was 5 years ago. So if I'm fudging up the numbers and I'm saying things that sound wrong, it's because I'm a little, there's been some time. I'm not lying to you. But I did find high quality here again. All right. And I've done this before by practicing the same method. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I did. Oh my God, it's 4:47, y'all. Let me, I need to start dinner. All right, this is the wig that I bought. $575.66. And y'all see, this is what you want to look for when you're buying it. Pea cancer? Oh, wait, hang on. Thank you, Mini Gizmo, and you look great. You're Mini Gizmo. Hi, Mini Gizmo. Oh, you lost your mom to cancer? I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. Great, thank you. And I love the way how you use your money because you're beautiful. Oh, Mini Gizmo says, I love the way how you use your money because you're beautiful. Thank you so much. And he says, I look great. I'm not sure if you're a boy or girl, so I'm not gonna say that. But they say, all I want to say is you look great and I love the way how you use your money. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue to explain how I'm spending this money, right? All right, so as you can see, let me see if I can go back and show you more pictures of this wig. I'm going to read to you the description so that if you guys want to do something similar, you know what to look for. You might want to actually feel free to reach out to me if you see a listing like this, and I'll tell you what I think of the listing based on my experience because I have bought some really, really high quality wigs online. And of course, I've bought some really crappy wigs as well. So, your big bald headed sister is here to share her experience with you so that you don't make the same mistakes. I can't guarantee results, of course, but I can try to help steer you in the right direction. All right, let me read this to you guys. Okay, it's the woman's full cap European hair Firenze wig. Box 1995. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I could find the description of this wig because that's really what did it for me was the description. Oh, that's not it. That's a wig I just bought, y'all. This is my Zara wig. I usually buy a brand new Zara wig. For a time, I was buying a brand new John Renault Zara wig every single month, and I would spend about $230 for it. I love that wig. I will continue to do it. In fact, when they get old, I do things like this, what we talked about. This piece right here is the Zara wig. I'll continue to buy this wig all the time, but now I'm seeing it, gently used, and sometimes I'll buy store models online. So whenever I see a deal like this, I jump on it. But we'll talk about that in a second. Right now, we're talking about this new wig that I just purchased, and it didn't even arrive yet. I just purchased it today. I can't find the description though. Where's my description? Oh, here's the original listing. Here we go. I know it looks a mess, and that's what you expect to see, because if the wig were styled already, if the wig was already in fantastic condition and it was styled, um, that photo right there, that extra step that the seller made just to get it to look that good would increase the price. Oh, probably as much as $50 or even $100. So you seeing this here, you already know, okay, this is, I can tell that this is hair that's never been cut, right? Never been cut, so that's great. Um, and it also looks like it's never really been styled or worn. Okay, so let's look at some more photos. This is the box it came in. That 1995, I think that's the model number, but I wouldn't be surprised if the wig was really, really old. Not 1995 old, because I don't think they were doing lace wigs in 1995. I've been wearing wigs long enough to know that, but quite old. European hair, which is what I'm looking for. Y'all know I like blonde hair. So if you can get naturally lighter hair, that's fantastic, because then you could then you're not dealing with damaged hair. You're not dealing with hair that has been bleach damaged. Um, okay, more photos. There you go. I'm a little worried about the hairline, but not too much. I'll show you why. Y'all know I only wear lace wigs. Hang on, let's get some more. But look inside. Okay, so this is a vacuum wig. A little bit elevated though. You see that? They haven't even cut the lace off in the front. Do you see that ear? Can y'all see my mouse? They haven't even cut off the lace in the front, which is great. I see that monofilament parting in this at the top, which looks fantastic. Um, this area here has the silicone, which sticks to the head, and that's really good. And then there's elastic at the side too. So this area here, I don't know if you could see my mouse, but the cursor is on the elastic at the sides there, which is really good. So yeah, I ordered it, and we're gonna see what that looks like. I don't feel like I'm losing. I'm not worried about having to return it, because first of all, on eBay you just don't typically return stuff unless it's just awful. My biggest concern is that I'm not going to be able to get the hairline just right. The good thing is I kind of know how to fudge that. Kind of, we'll work on it together. You guys just make sure that you're subscribed, so that when it arrives, you'll get that notification and we can unbox it together and see what we do with this wig. Um, is the price, is this something that you guys would do? Or would you say, oh, hell no, I'm not buying no wig that I haven't seen styled, that I haven't, that hasn't already been cut? Would you do that? Just so you know, I do know how to cut a wig. I do mess up wigs from time to time, so that's a concern, but I'm just going to be very, very careful. $530. Would you guys spend $530 on something like this? Let me know in the comments. I would love to know. And guys, don't stay quiet in the chats. I want to hear from you. I really appreciate hearing from Mini Gizmo, and I would love to hear from anyone else. Let's see. So yeah, that's it. So let me tell you about this Zara wig. So I'll give you an example of this wig. Remember we talked about the Zara wig, right? Hang on. Let me pull that back up again. Where did it go? All right, so this is an example of how I wig. All right, so here in real time, we're seeing that I ordered a wig online. We'll show you the photo of the wig. You get pictures like this, and then they give you a description of the wig as well. But for some reason, I can't find it here and now. But anyway, these are the photos of the wig. I'm very familiar with it, so I know pretty much what it's supposed to look like. And let me see if I can find that description. Why is it so hard to find things once something's been sold? I think once it's been sold, like, you can't really find it. But let me just go show you guys the exact wig that I purchased. This is the exact wig that came. So just so you know, you can get good deals, gently used online. If I'm not mistaken, This wig was advertised as like a floor model. I want to find it. I can't. Anyway, it worked out really well because I spent $100 on a wig that I typically buy for $230. So I saved $130. And the quality is not lacking. It's just as good as ever. You see that? Really, really fantastic wig. Love the Zara wig. I will always get it, but I've worn it for so long that I am a little bored with it, and a part of me really, really misses having a good quality human hair wig. Um, and you need a few. If you wear wigs every single day, you need a few wigs. So for all you people out there who have family members, like maybe a child who has lost their hair, and they complain that they need wigs all the time, trust them when they say that. One or two wigs for a whole year is not enough. When I was growing up, I had just one wig. When I first lost my hair, I had just one wig that I wore every single day. And that doesn't give you much to work with. You just have to, it gets, it gets pretty tiresome trying to work with one wig every single day for a whole year, especially the way wigs work. All right, back then though, we didn't have lace fronts, so we were just dealing with full cap wigs. It was less to know about. With lace wigs, I don't think we could ever get away with that. Lace wigs are just way too fragile. Not you can't just have one lace wig for a whole year. Let me pull this out. And then it looks like I'm not going to have time today to modify that wig like I need to with you guys, but I will do it after I'm done cooking dinner because I plan on wearing that wig later. But look at this fantastic wig, y'all. This is the Zara wig by Jon Renau. And like I just showed you, I bought it on eBay for just $100 when it's typically costs. I told you I buy it for $230, but that's not the price. Right now, if you went online and you look for the Zara wig by Jon Renau, you probably see it for something more like closer to $300 or even over $300. I've seen the markup go way high, up to like the 500s, which is insane. But like I said, these brands, they always do, like every month they do a 30% off sale. Wait for the 30% off sale and then get it brand new if you're going to buy it. Do not buy it full price. I really don't recommend it. And the color that I have is Malibu Blonde, which is 12FS8. Actually, this is not the color here. This is the first time I'm trying this color, to be honest. I have to look back at the listing to see what color it is. Oh, it's color 1426S10, which is shaded praline. I'll show it for you. Here it is. Jon Renau Zara Smart Lace Wig 1426S10. And I really like this color. I'll get it again. I really love it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you had a great time. I'm going to go ahead and cook dinner. And hopefully next time we talk, I'll have some more fun topics to discuss with you. I don't expect to receive that wig probably for another week or so, sadly. So we're going to wait for that. But make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you like this live. Do not leave without liking the live, y'all. And make sure you tell your friends. All right. It's your big bald headed sister, Action Jacqueline, signing out. Thank you so much. I love you.